Hi, my name is Tiffani, and this is my story. When Joe and I got married, I was in my mid-20s. We knew that we wanted to wait a little while before having kids. And honestly, I had never had a huge desire for children. So one Sunday morning at church, we were living in Youngstown at the time, the service ended with a song called "As Long as You Are Glorified." And it goes like this. Shall I take from your hand your blessings, yet not welcome any pain? Shall I thank you for days of sunshine, yet grumble in days of rain? Shall I love you in times of plenty, then leave you in days of drought? Shall I trust when I reap a harvest, but when winter winds blow, then doubt? Oh, let your will be done in me. In your love I will abide. Oh, I long for nothing else as long as you are glorified. That was when I decided to surrender my fears to him and put my future in his hands. 8 months later, the pregnancy test was positive, and I was terrified. The day of my first ultrasound, it felt like it was taking a really long time, and finally when she turned the screen towards me, she gave me the news that I was having twins. She went on to explain that she couldn't see a membrane separating them, and that could indicate that they were monoamniotic twins, and that could indicate, a high-risk pregnancy. And at the time, the survival rate was about 50%. The typical protocol for this type of pregnancy was for the mother to go into the hospital at the age of viability, usually like 24, 25 weeks, and stay there until the babies would be delivered via C-section. On the morning of my follow-up ultrasound, my daily devotional was in 2 Corinthians 1. So I knew this was the Lord showing me that even though the twins would face the danger of death, that he would save them. And eventually they did, and everything was fine. But when everyone left the room and I was alone in the dark again, I just cried out to the Lord, and I told him I wanted out. I just said, God, deliver me from this. I just want to go home, and I just want to go back to my life the way it was before. But he didn't answer my prayer that night. About a month in, I had an ultrasound, and the tech told me that my specialist had asked her to take a really close look and make sure that she couldn't see that membrane separating the babies. And she said it seemed like he was beginning to wonder if he had misdiagnosed the pregnancy because it had been going so smoothly. And he had never had a case of mono twins that had a positive outcome. So again, I knew that the Lord's hand was upon me and the twins. The twins were delivered by a C-section. Maribel was 4 pounds, and Madeline was 4.5 pounds. I wish I could end the story there and say that we all lived happily ever after, but that was actually just the beginning of what was the hardest season of my life. The girls were in the NICU for about 2 months. When we finally went home, they were on heart monitors. When the girls were about 9 months old, Joe got a new job, which brought us to North Canton, and we landed here at River Tree. And we got involved in a small group that was called the Young and the Sleepless, and it was for families with babies and toddlers and littles. And that was such a blessing to be a part of a community where, people were going through the same life stage as us. And, you hear people talk about the terrible twos, but for us, 2 was really the turning point. And for me, every year has been better than the last. My girls just turned 10. And I heard the Lord say to me, you had to go through the infancy stage to get here. It might be really hard at first, but he will use those difficult moments to refine you. You can trust that he will walk with you through it and give you what you need to see that thing through to maturity. My name is Tiffani, and Jesus Christ is my story.